Hey team, today I'm taking you through a no equipment full body mobility series. All you need is enough space to get into a 90-90 position and yourself, so go ahead and get situated. We're going to start off in a half kneeling position. So I'll bring one knee up, one knee down, tucking the back toes. We're tucking the pelvis, pulling the ribs down. I'm going to give myself a big hug here. We're going to breathe in through the nose, growing up nice and tall. And on my exhale, I'm rotating over the front knee to my furthest point. Once I get to that furthest point, pause right there, take an inhale, grow a little bit taller. On your exhale, we're trying to rotate a little bit more, just getting that last little inch out. Big inhale. Exhale, rotate. Now you may not get as much movement in each breath, and that's totally fine. Just getting as much as you can. One more big breath, check in on your pelvis, check in on your toes. And exhale, rotate. Good, nice and slowly bring that back into the middle. You should be able to feel a difference in each side. You're gonna switch your legs. I'm gonna go this way so you can see a different angle. If this is how I had my hands before, I'm gonna switch. So other hand is on top, tucking the pelvis, pulling the ribs, tucking the back toes, big inhale, growing tall. And exhale, rotate over that front knee, looking to the wall behind you. Big inhale. And exhale, rotate. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Two more. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Last one, inhale. And exhale, rotate. Slowly bringing that back into the middle and let it go, shake it out. We're gonna stand up to get into some spine cars. So when we go through our spine cars, we wanna have a little bit of a bend through the knees, tucking the pelvis. We're gonna be rotating around in a circle, and I want you to think about keeping your lower body as still as possible. So the only thing that should be moving is your upper body as we circle around. So follow me on this first one, and then I'm gonna let y'all kind of go at your own pace. So I am bringing my hands to my shoulders, taking it across over my chest. I'm gonna round out my back, bringing it down. We're gonna rotate over towards the right side. And then we're gonna get into a side bend, so now I'm looking straight forward across the room, bending over to the side. Looking to the ceiling and bending back. Just a little bit. Then I'm bending over to my left side, rotating, and rounding out the spine in the middle, and I'm gonna come right back up. So that's half a rep. I'm bringing it back down. Now we're gonna go to the left side, rotating towards the left, side bend to the left side, bringing that back around. Side bend to the right, rotate into the middle, and getting up nice and tall. That is one full rep. We're gonna go through 5 total, so we have 4 more to go. Bring that down, to the right, side bend, reaching back, side bend to the left, rotate, bringing that around, up through the middle, bringing it down. Rotate to the left, side bend to the left, around the back, side bend right, rotate, and back into the middle. That's 2. Here we go for 3. Three and a half. Bring that back. Just really paying attention to having that upper body move while the lower body stays still. We got 2 more. Bring that down. Rotate. Side bend. Back around. Side bend. Rotate. Into the middle. And up. Bringing it back. creating tension through your lower body to help it stay stable. Almost like I'm trying to like spread these two mats apart. One more. Down, rotate, side, around back, side, rotate, through the middle, 4.5. Bringing that around for our last little bit. See if you can get just a little bit more movement in each position. A little bit more range of motion. Bringing that around and back up. Good. All right, we're going to bring it back down to the floor into a 90-90 position. So when I sit up in my 90-90, both of my legs are hitting a 90-degree angle. Sometimes this leg, if going this far back is uncomfortable, you could bring it up a little bit if you like to bring in the 90-90, but our ideal position is two 90-degree angles. And we're just going to start by holding this. I'm getting up really tall, taking a little bit of a lean forward, so you should feel a stretch on this part of your leg. For some people, this might be enough. For other people, you might want to take a little bit more of a lean. The only thing we don't want to do is like hunch over. So as long as your back is straight, that's great. Doesn't need to be anything major. You don't need to, be all the way folded over. We're just holding here. Taking a few deep breaths. We got 30 more seconds here. Maybe now that you've been sitting here for 30, maybe if you can get a little bit deeper as we just relax into it, taking a few deep breaths. Ten more seconds. Last breath. Good. So next up, what we're going to do is keeping that lean over. I want you to drive this front knee into the floor as hard as you can. So I'm driving it into the floor, and as you get more comfortable with that, you might try and get even more tension and even more tension. Now in 5 seconds, I'm going to ask you to go full out on that and push as hard as you possibly can. 2, 1, and go. Pushing that front knee into the floor hard as you can. 100% effort here. We're going to hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can just melt off that. We're going to do the same thing with the back knee, so staying leaned over. I'm going to drive my back knee into the floor hard as I can. Trying to build up that tension, get a little bit more. Good, keeping that there. Keep holding. We're going to go all out in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Driving that knee into the floor as hard as you can. Ooh, might be shaking a little bit. I am. 3, 2, 1, and just relax. We're going to stay on this side a little bit longer. So now we've pushed into the floor. Next, what we're going to do is think about raising up this front leg. So I'm imagining like I could pick it up off the floor. We don't actually want the leg to separate from the floor, but just that feeling of trying to lift. So as I lift up on my leg, I'm going to walk myself out, and then I'm going to push my leg into the floor to come back up. So that was 1 rep. We're going to go through 5, walking myself out and pushing myself into the floor to come up. You could do this without your hands and you want something a little bit more challenging. 2, 1 more. Lifting and pushing the floor away. Good. Ooh, slowly come out of that. We're going to switch our legs around. We'll do the same thing on the second side. Start my timer over. So first things first, I'm getting up nice and tall here, taking that little lean over, finding that stretch. I'm going to start my timer, and we're holding here for 1 minute. So we want to keep this active still. We don't just want to relax into it, remember? So get up nice and tall, long spine, feeling that stretch, taking a few deep breaths. The longer you stay in this, you might find you're able to walk down a little bit lower. If that's the case, go ahead. In through your nose, Out through your mouth. Good, we got about 20 seconds left here. In through your nose, growing tall. Out through your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. You have 10 seconds, one more big breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And we're going to start with that front leg, driving that knee into the floor as hard as you can. So building that tension, building it even more. Keeping that forward lean nice and strong. We got 5 more seconds here, and then we're going to go all out for 10. 3, 2, 1. Pushing that knee into the floor as hard as you can. 100% effort. You might be shaking. We love that. 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax the front leg. Keep that forward lean. Now we're going to go into the back leg, driving that knee into the floor as hard as you can, lighting up that whole back leg. We don't want the back foot to take off. Just think about driving the knee down. Holding that a little bit longer before we go all out. We're going to go all out in 3, 2, 1. Driving that down as hard as you can. 100% effort here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can melt into that a little bit more. So before we get into our leans, I want you to first try and figure out that feeling in the front leg. So remember, it's like the leg is glued to the floor and you're trying to lift it up to get it out of the glue. Once you feel that tension, go ahead and start walking yourself down, keeping that upward tension the whole time, and then push the leg into the floor to come back up. Again, if you want to make it harder, you can go without your arms. We're going to do 5 of these total. Here's 3. Good. 2 more. Let's inhale to lower. Exhale, push it up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, push it up. I lost count. Let's do 1 more. But if that was 5 before, then just only do 5. Perfect. Go ahead and melt out of that. Ooh, I needed that. My hips feel so good. All right, we're going to do some ankle cars. So if you've taken class with us, you've probably done these before. We're going to start by folding the legs over. If this position feels really uncomfortable, you can also do this sitting up on your couch like a little stool. So I'm going to sit on the floor here, wrapping one arm underneath, kind of like a chokehold situation, bringing the other arm right across here. So again, I'm tucking this arm under, bringing this arm across, and then grabbing onto my knee. So it's really locked in here. So we take away any kind of movement. So from there, I'm going to take my foot and just start making little circles around. Really articulating every position as we make the circle. And we're going to do 5 in one direction, and then we're going to reverse, and we're going to do 5 in the other direction. Here's 3, 4, and 5. And once we get here, we're going to reverse it. So now we'll go back the other way. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Last two probably feel a little challenging, which is good. 5. Good. If those don't feel challenging, then you're probably not giving it enough tension. So as we go into the second side, I want you to think about trying to, instead of having the foot kind of be, just chilling here, flex the foot up, feel what that tension feels like. Think about like driving your toes up to your nose, and now keep that tension in every position. So mobility is still work. I think that's why a lot of people don't get a lot out of their stretching and mobility. They're just chilling and relaxing, which definitely has its place. But in order to build up the muscles around your joints and get stronger in your mobility, you need to have the tension. 2 more in this direction. And 5. Good, and then we're gonna reverse that. And as we reverse, something to think about too, something I struggle with, is letting the toes relax a little bit so we don't want them like scrunched up like this. So trying to just keep the toes straight. We're only thinking about the ankle right now. Trying to hit that end range in each position. Finishing out those 5 reps. And then we just have one final exercise to end off this video. All right, then go ahead and relax the leg down. We're going to put the feet out flat in front of you. Any position that's comfortable, you can do these standing, sitting, whatever. We're going to try and lift off just the big toe and bring it back down. Big toe, bring it back down. Big toe, and bring it back down. Then we're going to leave the big toe on the ground and we're going to take up the other 4 toes and back down. 4 toes and back down. 4 toes and back down. Bringing all the toes up. We're going to go from the pinky toe and piano, then in to the middle. Bringing all toes up from the pinky toe, piano, into the middle. Last one. Nice and slow. And then we're going to reverse that. This is the last thing we're going to do. So this is definitely the hardest out of all of them. I'm still working on this one. So I'm lifting up all my toes. Big toe goes down first, and then the pointer finger toe, and then the middle, and then the ring, and then the pinky toe. We'll get 3 of those in. Bring that down, trying to articulate one at a time. That one's definitely the hardest. Good. I hope you feel stretched out and ready for the day, and thank you so much for joining me.